Who's ready for today's Nintendo Switch news? I hope you are, because it's coming at you whether you like it or not. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. We've got another epic pack of delicious details for you on Plucky Squire, Nintendo Switch 2, Splatoon 1, and more. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Let's kick it off with Plucky Squire. This has been one of the hottest looking indies for a while now, and yet it has not popped up anywhere yet. The Plucky Squire was announced a while back by Devolver Digital. We've seen updates since, and it looks to be one of the most cool and clever Zelda clones that I've ever witnessed. It's got a bunch of different styles of gameplay, jumping off the pages into a 3D world, back to a 2D plane. It looks phenomenal, and they announced that it will for sure be launching sometime in 2024. Not a very specific window, not a very specific date for sure, but at least we have confirmation that it isn't getting delayed. Although I do wonder if this is kind of a delay of a sort. They don't have a release date, and maybe they're just saying 2024 to assure us that, hey, it is going to be coming, but it might be closer to the fall. That's okay. We've got a lot of awesome indies to look forward to. Hollow Knight. So we'll wait for Plucky Squire, but it looks phenomenal, so the wait should be worth our while. Let me know in the comments down below if Plucky Squire is an insta-buy for you once it finally does debut on Switch sometime later this year. If you haven't heard, it's Amazon Gaming Week, which means this little guy is on super sale. The Lexar Play Card is the best Nintendo Switch memory card. It is the fastest, the safest, and the smartest way to store all of your Switch games. Make sure that your saves do not disappear, and get a ton of storage for a cheap price. Right now, the 1 terabyte is almost 50% off, and the 256 gig card is down to $17.50. That is a phenomenal price for 256 gigs of storage, and these deals run until May the 5th, so hop on them now by clicking the link in the description down below. Every time you click it, it helps support the channel and the show, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, Lexar, thank you, people, and thank you for memory cards. Without them, we'd be stuck in my childhood, where I had to leave my systems on while I went to school, and then I came home, and they froze. Not good. What is good, though, is Splatoon 1. Yeah, Splatoon 1, the beginning of the Inkling invasion on Nintendo platforms, their first new successful IP that's stuck, right? We've got these Inkling characters, these Octoling characters, they're here to stay, and so is one dude inside of Splatoon 1. April 30th was the final map rotation of Splatoon 1 on the Nintendo Network. Now, you may remember that the Wii U Online shut down a while back, but somebody is still in the game. And they weren't able to play against other players because the multiplayer has been shut down since April 9th, but they were hanging out. They were able to be in lobbies, they were able to see gear in the shops change, they were able to get stage rotations, but now the map is stuck for the next 10 years. This is completely random and really has no impact, but I think it's hilarious that this person is stuck in Splatoon 1, absolutely trapped on Moray Towers for a decade. Popular data miner Oatmeal Dome, who we've covered many times for his Animal Crossing leaks and other Nintendo updates, says that the future map rotation will be in 10 years. So Moray Towers is where this single player will be for the next decade. Kind of a purgatory. The ink is probably going to start stinking after all that time, but I just thought this was absolutely funny and a great little anecdote that someone is committed to Splatoon 1. They could go play Splatoon 3, but they're keeping with the OG. And Moray Towers is where they will take up residence forever, till 2034. More and more details continue to pour out about the Switch 2, and today's frame an interesting discussion that I think you're going to want to get in on. We know that the Switch 2 is going to have these magnetic Joy-Con, and much of the talk has been about the controllers, but today we discuss more about the system itself. Everyone anticipates this system to be massively improved over Nintendo Switch 1 from a power standpoint, to allow for ray tracing, to allow for 4K output, DLSS, and more. But we have new information from YouTube channel Moore's Law is Dead and content creator The Fox on the Broken Silicon podcast, stating an interesting and I think divisive update about the console. They say that the Switch 2 will be clocked faster than we expect in docked mode, meaning it's going to run and perform excellently, but it's going to be clocked crazy low and underclocked in handheld mode, allowing for some good news, but also a worse experience than maybe some were hoping for. Now, me personally, I play a lot of Switch handheld. Unless I'm recording videos for the channel, I usually play Switch in handheld mode because it's convenient, it's cozy, it's fun, and I really like just having my Pro Controller attached on with one of my different accessories, and boom, away we go. So knowing that the handheld performance isn't going to be that impressive is kind of a bummer. Now, I still think it'll be improved over Switch 1, and remember, this is a rumor. Some people do challenge Moore's Law is Dead's credibility, their sources, and what they're saying, but we'll cover it now and just know that, take it with a grain of salt, this is not as reputable in my mind as the previous accessory manufacturer leaks or the Vandal Spanish website leak. That's why I'm calling this more of a rumor than a leak, but they're stating that it's going to be far less impressive handheld, and I think that's honestly a mistake. They say that there are positives, so let me get those out there before you decide, and one of them would be a better battery life. By underclocking the system, knowing that it's going to take more juice to generate the visuals that we expect the Switch 2 to generate, they're able to keep that battery life running long. That's a significant issue with some of the handheld PCs where they can only run on their top level for like an hour or two. The Switch has a better battery life than that already, but as it does improve its performance and under the hood tech, it would need to make some sacrifices if battery life is going to still remain king. So you get better battery life, and apparently you get less ability for the system to overheat. By underclocking the system in handheld mode, it will allow Nintendo to not implement tons of cooling to keep the system from burning up. They would be able to go with a much simpler cooling solution and therefore not have a system that overheats. And some places like IGN mentioned with, kids leaving the system around and younger players having it, there could be risks Nintendo does not want to take with this system reaching higher temperatures. We do know that things like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally can get pretty hot when they're played for a while, so better battery life and less fire for less performance handheld. Obviously, Nintendo is going to decide what they think is ultimately best for the system in terms of its price point, its performance, and its players. But what I find interesting here is I would anticipate that many players are like me and prefer handheld mode over home docked mode, especially in Japan where the handheld systems are so popular and where we know Nintendo Switch reigns supreme over the PS5, over the Xbox Series consoles by a lot. I would think they might want to emphasize handheld play and make that something that really shines. But if we're to believe Moore's Law is dead and the Fox, then handheld play will not see anywhere near as big of a boost as docked play, and we might not be able to take advantage of as many of the cool features that the hardware allows for while we're playing on the go. I think this would stink, but I don't necessarily believe Moore's Law is dead. I'm sure that Nintendo Switch will be overclocked and run really nice in docked mode. We've had a lot of reports of people rumoring that, the dock is going to provide an extra boost, it's going to be able to output 4K. Obviously, the dock is going to be stronger than it is in handheld mode. But I'm not so sure that Nintendo would want to just sort of ditch the handheld performance in exchange for battery life and less heat. I mean, that does sort of seem like something Nintendo would do, but given how heavy the handheld emphasis is with this console, I would hope that they would want to emphasize that side of the equation with this upgraded system. If they're supposedly going to a 1080p screen, a bigger screen, better Joy-Con, it seems like they do want us to continue playing handheld and continue prioritizing that style of play. So I hope Nintendo has measures in place to ensure that we can take advantage of the really cool features, the DLSS, the ray tracing in handheld mode, and that it's not something that just happens in docked mode. The Switch's biggest strength over its competitors is its ability to switch, and therefore the portable play is going to be, I think, more scrutinized than the docked. We know that the Switch 2 will not look as good as the PS5 or the Series X when docked already, but in handheld, it can stand on its own. At that point, we're comparing it to Steam Decks and ROG Allies, and we're not comparing it to PS5s and Xbox Series. I think that's where Nintendo would actually see a lot more positive buzz if the handheld performance and mode does run super well. We'll have to wait and see as more and more comes out, but I will let you know that Nate Drake is questioning the validity of this report and thinks that they're kind of just piecing together some previous stories and they might not have a specific source, but never say never. This could be exactly how Nintendo decides to go, and this information could be legit. We won't know for a while, but hopefully we do find out more details at the May 7th investors call, which is now less than a week away. It's currently Golden Week in Japan, so there probably won't be many updates, if any, from Nintendo this week, at least any of substance. But next week, maybe we start getting some more details. Maybe Furukawa does speak on the next generation, and perhaps there will be hints of an upcoming direct as more and more leaks pour out. We do have a seeming snowball effect where once we started hearing about the magnetic Joy-Con, it's just been more and more. And not just Moore's Law, but like more in terms of increasing amounts of leaks. I hope that continues, and I hope we can continue talking about it and discussing. When it comes to handheld mode though, I need Nintendo to emphasize this play. I think it is the stronger part of their console, but for me personally, I'd sacrifice battery life for better handheld performance. A plug is usually a few feet away at home, on a plane, wherever you might be, so yeah, I'll plug that thing in and have it purr better than battery life extension and a little bit cooler. Like we can shut that thing down, we can take a break, but while I'm playing it, I want that experience to wow my eyeballs. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. SwitchForce out.